Welcome to round one of the third Monday Invitational. We have Thomas Campbell against Shakeel Soopee. Thomas on red green Ponza, Shakeel on Grixis control. And they have resolved titles. Didn't quite catch that. I believe Thomas is going first.
Yeah.
We'll switch over to them now. And in this match, Chad, since you've built both decks,
Yeah.
who do you think is favored?
Definitely the Ponza deck by a long shot. Mainboard, the Grixis deck only has two counter spells that can hit early Blood Moons. But depending on if the Grixis is able to keep dorks off the table, it will be able to fight back pretty well, as long as it gets a basic swamp out and it lasts long enough. It really depends on how Thomas starts off. So this is considered a slow start for the Ponza deck. It ideally wants to go turn 1 Arbor Elf into a turn 2 Utopia Sprawl to power out a 4-mana spell on turn 2. In this line, Shax should be most concerned about a turn 2 Blood Moon or Stone Rain. Looks like Thomas has got a Stone Rain at the ready. I don't see a second land though.
Oh, he just top deck the Forest.
That is fantastic. Oh, he had the Misty the whole time there. I see Shax doing well to play around targeted land destruction by leaving his fetch in play and fetching end of turn most likely whenever he needs the mana. Often it's correct to just leave the fetch land in play until you absolutely need it, even if you're foregoing cards like Serum Visions that you see in his hand now.
Yeah, the Serum Visions is somewhat semi-important in this match. He needs to cycle through cards to try and sort out his draws as opposed to trying to get it going immediately. I don't think his hand is particularly good in this situation. Thomas's hand, although, isn't particularly powerful itself.
So he's going to have 4 mana next turn, which is going to allow him to try and stick a Chandra. And if that stays around for any period of time, it's going to put him into the 6 mana range where he'll be able to cast everything and start double spelling already. So he could go next turn Chandra, the following turn into any one of the creatures he has in his hand, whether it's Titan, the dragons, all sorts of unpleasantries.
And Shaq doesn't have a lot of counter spells, as you said, to deal with any of those creatures, nor do any of his deal removal spells. I believe you're playing one Terminate, remember?
No. So Shaq's on the 3 main Terminate version.
Sure.
He's gonna, I don't think this is gonna be a good game for Shaq. So how the Grixis deck works is it lets the creatures resolve and kills them after they've hit, and any non-creature spells that you don't want to resolve will, you'll try and tag those with a counter squall or a cryptic command. But it looks like he's light on removal and he's banking that Click's gonna protect him. Although there's a good chance he's just gonna get Stone Rained out of this game on Thomas's next turn.
Yeah, the Stone Rain going to hurt, taking out one of the shock lands. A lot of these modern decks not playing too many mana producing lands.
Yeah, so of late you've seen a lot of trimming going on in the shocks, especially with the Death Shadows deck that'll oftentimes only play one of each shock land that they need. And then maybe double up on Blood Crypt or something like that.
Thomas has an decision of whether or not to play the second Utopia Sprawl. I do believe you do in this situation. It's still going to produce a red.
Yeah, it's basically free mana at this stage if you play a land. And he also doesn't need to worry about playing around anything out of the Grixis control deck.
Yeah, no main board Ghost Court is happening this side.
Yeah,
consideration if it was, say, blue-white to be playing in a Spreading Seas, because they would just make all of them fall off. No point putting them on the same forest.
Exactly. Okay, so it looks like he is going to play around the
Spreading Seas.
The land removal. Yeah, I don't think this loses him any mana because he still has a mana floating, so he can still make enough mana for Chandra.
Although at this point,
okay, I see he's just playing it super safe here. He's gonna force Shaq to have lands every turn.
Yeah, otherwise going to lose that battle.
Yes, definitely.
And Shakeel probably just wants to see how the deck plays. I'm not sure if he has any experience playing against it.
Yeah, that's basically how game one ends up most of the time, as long as the Ponza deck doesn't, mulligan itself into oblivion. Okay, so Shaq decided to not sacrifice his fetch land instead, probably because he's glide cards to the top. Okay.
And that Ancestral Vision is going to be very important in this game. Although, in my opinion, Shaq's so far behind at this point, it's not going to be much of a game.
So good chance he's just going to be dead before that comes off, if Thomas decides to go for it. I'm curious to find out what he's playing around. That's 1 mana from other Shaq's deck.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is maybe Spell Snare, which isn't particularly good at this point.
Yeah, it also doesn't hit many things in the Ponza deck. Okay, so we see Thomas goes with a Thunder Mahalkite, which is a flying haste 5/5.
Big old boy from Avison restored Ravnica block. That's
M15,
gonna,
I believe.
Actually M15, sure.
Is it M15?
No,
it's
think M13. M13.
There we go.
It was Avison, Innistrad block and return to Ravnica block that it was seeing a ton of play in the Zoo decks.
Every red deck ever, yeah.
It's like, oh, Lingering Souls. Nice knowing you.
Okay, so I think this is a pretty good play going with the haster on this turn. With Island up, Shaq isn't able to cast Terminate. He needs to draw another either red or black source to go with his fetch land to be able to kill that. So I think it's quite safe to go with the haster. Also taking into the fact that there's a good chance Shaq will need to fetch and shock. He'll basically just be dead to Thomas following up with a Titan or Chandra after that.
Yeah, things not looking too great for Shaq this game. It's not exactly the most ideal matchup for him either.
No, this is definitely a terrible matchup.
You're such a hateful person, Shad. How can you hate at all the 3-color mana bases in Modern?
They did a good job of vetting themselves out.
They can't exactly win the game if they can't play their spells.
That's a good point, but you could say the same thing about counter magic, I guess.
True. Although it says a lot about you since you built both decks. Deny them their mana, deny them their spells. Can't play, can't win.
Look, sometimes I feel like playing interactive magic, sometimes I don't feel like letting my opponents play interactive magic. Really depends on the conversations I have with the people before the game starts.
At this point, I feel Shaq should just be trying to see what threats Thomas is going to be throwing at him, as opposed to trying to win this match.
Yeah.
Well, game, not match. He should try to win the match.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to win this game. Okay. So Shaq decides to go with a Tasiga, exiling his entire graveyard. Oh dear, looks like Thomas is about to miracle
A bonfire of the damned.
I think we're gonna have to keep a tally of how big the bonfires have been today.
If we had an Arbor Elf, it would have been a massive bonfire. So that's what, 6, so 5 damage?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's a
bonfire for 5.
Bonfire for 5.
Take
pretty
5.
Pretty convenient to
Go
get rid of
to
Tasiga.
1. So it's stop, take, terminate or bust, and then die to the Titan or Chandra in hand.
Exactly. Well, I'd prefer to go with the Titan because if Shaq does have counter squall.
Yeah, you could just technically stop it.
Yeah.
Although at this point you have one basic island you could play. That's an untapped source.
Yeah,
doesn't
so there's
require
only one
any
source.
life.
Wow,
and
we managed
top
to get
decks it.
4 of the 5 basics in the deck. That's pretty good.
Good or lucky.
It doesn't matter, but it's still pretty good.
Hey man,
Abba Alf, always late to the party. Oh, right, he has the
So
Vendilion click to block, and he could take the one of the threats out of Thomas's hand.
you died to the second threat though.
Exactly. So in a normal game, this would probably be enough. I think Thomas should actually just have cast something first.
So Thomas just wanting to know whether or not the Vanilla Click dies. It doesn't because the trigger goes on the stack when Thundermalkite attacks.
No,
Actually,
only when it
no.
enters.
When it ETBs, yes.
Yeah,
So
when
it
it enters, it deals
deals
one
one.
damage to each creature with flying.
Sure. It just is a 5-mana, 5/5 haste
Yeah.
flyer. You have more experience playing with the card. Only dragon I played with haste and standard is Stormbreath, which
Stormbreath.
you are also playing in the deck.
Yes, people love Path to Exile, and we hate losing to that. So
Also, can't be blocked by Lingering Souls. How convenient.
yes, Spell Queller or Restoration Angel or any of those silly birds. Okay, so Shaq's probably just realizing he's dead now.
Yeah. Moving to blocks.
There we go. Squish.
Then Thomas needs to not misplay. Fairly easy when your opponent's at 1 life.
Yeah, that one's dead. And now Shaq has to sort out whether he untaps or not. I don't think. Surely he's not. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just dying, right?
And they're just going through the excruciating process of Thomas.
Did you too? Maybe.
Did we miss damage?
Okay, maybe we missed. Maybe Shaq didn't shock with the first shock land, so he's actually on 1 now.
Okay.
Which is fine. That actually makes the game a bit more interesting. Sort of. Not by much.
In a this is going to take one more turn kind of way.
Yeah.
There's no way that the Grixis deck can deal with Result Chandra 5 with those lands in play. Bolt, Snap Bolt is the only way it's getting off the table. Okay, so the players scooped it up. One game in Thomas's favor. They'll be going to the sideboard. There's not much in Shaq's 15 there that's going to help him. Do we have access to those lists?
We do, it's just busy refreshing at the moment, so we'll just have a look at it ourselves and give you guys some rundown on what we would expect.
Okay. So from Thomas's side, I think we can expect the relics to come in, probably the Grafdigger's Cage as well. You could choose to bring in the Kitchen Finks as well, just because it's a sticky threat for the Grixis deck to deal with. But if Thomas is familiar with the Grixis deck, he'll know that there's a good chance Anger's coming in to clean up the Arbor Elves and the birds that really accelerate Thomas's mana. Although Thomas could go or try next level, take all the dorks out and render those Angers totally useless.
I see a lot of cards being sided in from Shaq's side. Okay. By a lot, I mean a massive ton.
Okay, so he's probably bringing the Counter Squall, Engineered Explosives, a potential way to get rid of Blood Moon if you can get it on 3 before the Blood Moon hits. Anger of the Gods. That's basically it. Maybe Collective Brutality because it can kill a dork and take out a Stone Rain, something of that effect.
Surgical Extraction, maybe?
Possibly. If he's able to tag or kill one of the big threats in Thomas's deck, extracting it could be good, but the deck's very threat dense and quite diverse. So there's 2 Primal Commands, 2 Thragtusk, 4 Titan, 2 Chandras. There's lots of ways to get people dead with this deck.
Sure. But maybe just trying to get rid of, say, the Blood Moon if he hits one of a handed spell.
Yeah, so a potential thing you could do is Thought Scour Thomas aggressively.
Yeah. Instead of hitting yourself.
Exactly. And then use the Surgical Extraction to take the threats out of the deck. And then, yeah, so you Thought Scour your opponent, pay 2 life to surgically extract whatever threatening card you hit, and then you can use Snapcast the Mage to take, any further threats out of the deck that you might hit.
Sure. And Shakeel on the play, very important here, hopefully has a removal spell to deal with a dork if there is one.
Yeah, that's crucial. If Thomas leads with a dork, Shaq's definitely going to want to be able to kill that before Thomas untaps.
So Thomas actually taking out some number of dorks on the draw and the bonfires.
And one of the Titans, it seems. I don't think he needs to be sideboarding nearly this aggressively. He just wants to keep the deck as fast as possible. Climbing on bonfires, I think, is fine. Tassig's is the only creature he might need to kill, but everything he plays is bigger.
Yep.
Or flies over it.
I mean, even Thragtusk, sticky body and as big as Tasiga in terms of
and it leaves a little body behind.
Dies to Bolt though, but not much of an issue. It leaves a 3/3.
Look, I think Bolt kind of becomes the best card in Shaq's deck because it's the one you're almost always able to cast. But killing a Thragtusk, it's fine. Like, you've already gained the 5 life, you're still getting a 3/3. If you attack with your Tasiga into the beast is just going to hit you back, and you're probably already behind.
Another approach Shaq could try and do this game is maybe try and win through tempo, like Bolt Snap, bolting, trying to get as aggressive as possible, stick like counter-scrolling any of the Blood Moons at least. You can ignore most of that land destruction to a point.
Yeah, so he can. I think that's his only way. If he needs to curve, like, if Thomas doesn't play a Dork, Bolt Thomas, you might even have to play a Snap for no value, and then follow up with a Click. That's the fastest the deck can go. And then hope for like another Snapcaster after that. I mean, I know it sounds like a lot, but the deck can do it between all the card selection and Searing Visions and Thought Scours and so on. I definitely feel he needs to take the Ancestral Visions out.
Yeah, the
there's
AVs
just
are
no
not
time
resolving.
for that.
4 turns a bit too long.
Looks like
say.
Thomas has the Gross Start in his hand. He's got the Arbor Elf, he's got the Utopia Sprawl. I see a Thragtusk, but the question is, does he have a 4-mana payoff?
Let's see if we can see Shakeel's hand here.
So he's looking at...
That's the Scries.
Yeah, the Scries are...
Leaving a land on top implies he probably doesn't have lands in hand.
Okay, so he does have the Bolt for the Dork. I hope he's savvy enough to know that he might as well just fetch a Steam Vents to cast Bolt, because it's going to be turned into a mountain anyway. Surprised to see the Cryptic in the deck still.
Cryptic can bounce Blood Moon if he gets lands enough to do so.
Yeah. No. Let's not even pretend that's possible.
Well, the way it's going at the moment, I don't see a land destruction spell on Thomas's side. In which case, the Cryptic could actually just be okay.
Look, Thomas really has to break to not be able to keep this deck off.
Double Snapcaster off the Searing Vision Scry. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. He really should have sacked the land first. If he knew he was going to sack it to deal with this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even realize he hadn't fetched yet. Yeah, he may get punished here. So if Thomas sees that he's scryed both to the top, he may go sprawl into Beast within the fetch, force him to shuffle away the top 2 cards, because his hand doesn't look that great right now.
Alternatively, if you top deck something like a Chandra and his Elvish or Arbor Elf lives, it's just gonna be over at that point, because Shakeel's gonna lose 2 Snapcasters effectively.
Exactly. So I think Thomas is trying to figure out if he can make 5 mana this turn. I don't think it's possible.
Summon Spirit Guide.
No, so he's got double Sprawl and Elf.
Yeah.
So we can go play a land, enchant a forest, tap it, make 2 mana.
It still just makes 4 because you're using one of the 5 it would make.
Exactly. He'll get to this though.
Although he only needs to make 4 this turn.
No, well, if he wants to cast Thragtusk, he would want 5.
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to assume this is while this is on the stack.
Yeah. I think Shaq just realized what's going on and that he doesn't get to play with those snapcasters anymore.
I'm gonna put his life total down to 17, assuming he's going to fetch his teammates. Yeah, Thomas just
Yeah,
confirming it's
confirming.
on the stack.
Okay.
Is the teammates is untapped. That Ob Alpha will get bolted. Utopia Sprawl happens. May as well sprawl onto the same island or forest
Yeah,
again.
you always just sprawl into the same forest when you know your lands are safe, so that any Arbor Elves just make a million mana. Or not. I suppose Thomas is just playing safe around
Spreading
Spreading
Seas,
Seas,
yeah.
yeah.
That card. A card you have been known to play.
Yes.
So he's not wrong in the assumption that there could be Spreading
Yeah,
Seas in his opponent's blue deck.
So he's not punishing himself because he has a lot of lands in hand. So he's still able to Thrag Tusk on turn 3. I don't think there's not a single counter spell in Shaq's deck that stops that, unfortunately for him.
There's Cryptic Command.
Yeah, he's gonna go up to 3 mana in this turn.
So yeah, Shakeel has Vendilion click. I do think you should probably click Thomas and draw step.
Yeah, especially with him going to 5 mana.
But is Thought Scouting himself.
Okay.
Hitting 2 land or a Cryptic and a land. He's possibly looking for another land. Yeah, he could just be missing a land drop.
I think he has a land in hand.
Yeah,
I think he has a couple of lands in hand.
Not too sure why he would main phase this Thought Scour. He's playing Watery Grave tapped.
Okay, no, he wants to cast a Tasuga.
Sure.
Which I think is okay here. If you're able to keep up removal.
Okay, shocking himself.
Yes.
Paying for the Tasuga this turn.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible play.
Just get rid of everything but the ball track. Okay, so this is fine. If he has another removal spell, he can clear out the Flag Tusk and get in with Tasuga.
Although Thomas does have a removal spell for the Tasuga.
He's got the Beast Within.
Yes. And Thomas going up to 25.
Fantastic.
Good luck getting through that.
Yeah, the Grixis deck doesn't struggle to get through high life totals once it gets going. Shaq just needs to make sure that
it gets going.
He keeps his lands and he keeps going.
Thomas's hand not looking too great now that he's played the Thrag Tusk. Only Beast Within, Bird, and a land. And Shakeel actually just holding up a... Yeah, he's holding up Cryptic Command. I don't think this is going to go the way he plans on it going if he's holding up Cryptic Command. Unless he's planning on blocking the Thrag Tusk, which is definitely going to be swinging at him.
I think what Shaq should do now is just go into autopilot. If he has a removal spell, I think he takes the first hit from the Flag Tusk. If Thomas doesn't do anything post combat, try and kill the Flag Tusk, and then sit on command at 10 life.
Thomas deciding whether or not he wants to shock here to play both Stone Rain and Beast Within.
I think you should Stone Rain first, see what Shaq does, and then you can always shock and surprise Beast Within.
And which land do you suggest it takes? Watery Grave?
It's tough to say. I don't think there's any value in killing any specific color at this stage.
Yeah.
Because Shaq can just replace it with the fetch land. There are 2 Watery Graves in the oh no, they're not. Shaq mulled one of them.
Watery Graves. That's why.
Okay, so Thomas is sticking to the game plan of picking up the basics, and when he goes to Blood Moon, just turn Shaq into a bad Skred deck. Float your mana. There we go.
Mana. Letting it dissolve. Interesting. Oh, another problem with if Thomas was putting multiple Utopia spells on a forest, Shaq could just go Cryptic Command, bounce your forest.
Yeah, I mean that's a very nice world to live in. But I wouldn't have played around that, to be honest.
Me neither,
If,
to be
if
honest.
Shaq's able to focus his cryptic command, one of his modes in his cryptic command to bouncing a land of yours, you're probably okay.
Thomas just passing turn, and we're going to see a no, we're going to see it terminate. So floating the mana for no value there.
I think it's fine.
I think Thomas can actually just beast within his own Thragtusk and get another beast.
I don't think I like that.
Sure.
Because Thomas's life total is so high, I think
He
he
doesn't
just
need to. Yeah.
yeah lets him.
Beast within the Tasiga. Sure.
Okay, so I should have put the tokens in the box. Got some nice ones too. Yeah, you get the white border one, we get the cool one. Nice. Okay, so what do you think Shaq needs to win this game or turn it around? Bolt would be a good start.
Well, firstly, he has a Cryptic in hand, so I'd like another land. Just for this next turn. You could
Sure.
counter whatever bounce the beast token,
Okay.
if worst comes to worst. Then turn after that, Colligan's Command would be pretty good.
Sure, buyback Tasker, replay it.
Replay it, because there's a lot of cards in the graveyard. Colligan's Command is fine. I think Snap's also okay, but
I think
not-
Snap's a fine draw here. You can snap Bolt the token, get in for 5. It's a decent enough clock.
and if Thomas does, say, play a dragon, you don't even need to play a Cryptic on it. If you top take a Snap, you could just go Snap, terminate.
There we go. Well, that also hinges off the land.
Yeah. So he needs both. No, well, he has a land in hand, I believe. Actually, I'm pretty sure he has a land in hand.
Okay, that's good.
Let's see what he has. If he could put his hand in front, please.
Oh, polluted delta. Nice.
Going down to more than likely 8 to fetch a basic. Yeah, basic island.
I would have liked to see a swamp there.
But you see, the problem with fetching swamp is it doesn't turn on Cryptic Command.
Yes, but it
so
does.
his previous. Oh,
It does. It does
he
turn on
has
Cryptic,
triple blue anyway.
But what it does do is it plays it on the Blood Moon,
Yeah.
so that terminates down the line, hit hard. You still have Fatal Push, and you have Bolt. So your removal's still online with a basic swamp.
Yeah, he is
There we
fetching
go.
basic swamp. I forgot he actually has 3 blue anyway.
Sure. Yeah, there's still hope for Shaq in this game.
I think this is the game he needs to win.
Yeah, this is a pretty terrible game for Thomas. I mean, he's had 1 threat so far.
I mean, he should win it. And I know I said he needs to win it because obviously if Thomas wins it, it's 2-0.
That's the end of the game. Yeah.
But this is, even if this was like a game 1, this is a match, well, a game where Thomas is actually top taking really badly.
Yes.
So he really needs to take the opportunity to win here. Attacking is very aggressive.
Yes.
Very, very aggressive.
Unless he already has the answer for it.
If we could only see his hand. Colligan's Command. Making Thomas discard a bird.
Okay, that
Bring
makes
back
it a good
Tasiga.
attack.
Play Tasiga again. Exile everything except terminate Bolt, Colligan's Command. Cryptic?
That sounds about right. Get that old scar out of there. You don't want it anymore.
Yeah, you exiling one too many. Yeah, leave a land. That's correct. Reason why leaving a land is correct is because Tasiga says non-land card with its activated ability.
Yes. So it's basically a redraw in the graveyard. Another fantastic top deck there for Thomas.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna win this game. Match is a different story, but things are
Yeah, like
going
Thomas on the plays
all
a gross
Shaq way.
thing.
Yeah. Especially turn 2 Blood Moon. That's a real mission to beat through. I think Shaq likes to die.
Yeah,
These
I think
tokens
it's
aren't doing
fine.
anything.
I mean, you spent 1 card to kill Flag Tusk. That's a small victory right there. No, that's a good card.
Fortunately, Cryptic will stop it. I'm going to assume it's going to be Cryptic plus drawing a card. Thomas tapping way too much mana there. Actually, no. It's one too much.
No, that's a stomping ground behind the forest.
Sure. No, then it's still one too much. And yeah, Thomas
You lose the Utopia Sprawl, sir.
playing the land we just got. Yep.
There we go.
We fixed it, guys. That's untapped. One of them is untapped, guys. Not the stomping ground.
The stomping ground is
Okay, sure.
untapped, yes.
Because he's not going to tap the stomping ground.
Fetches at Basic Island, surely.
I'd hope so.
Well, this is if there are any left in the deck. There
I
we go.
think he only mulled one, and one got destroyed. I actually would have counted and drawn a spell. I mean, drawn a card, as opposed to counting and bouncing at this point.
Yeah, I suppose Shaq doesn't know what the threats are in this deck, and that at this stage it doesn't matter. Mana denial doesn't matter at this stage of the game.
Yep.
Okay, so Tasker gets into the red zone, Shaq passes back.
And Thomas just flooding, effectively.
Okay, looks like Shaq sitting on a
Yeah, Thomas just scooping it up here.
Snapcaster there.
Let's see if we
Okay,
can
cool.
get this deck listing working. Okay, killed it. Opening it up. Do it now. It's still killing itself. Well, since this is not really working, we'll just go to the Totem Split. So, game 3, Thomas on the play. Definitely favored. Anything you think you should change sideboard-wise?
Go back to his fastest iteration of the deck. So if he's cut any dogs, put him back in.
So, basically, everything that comes out is only Bonfire. And other than Bonfire...
I think a Bonfire is fine. Like, you could just fireball them.
Sure. Burning them out. Good way to win.
Yeah, like that turn, where
He top
the
deck
turn he
Utopia
scooped.
Sprawl, yeah.
Yeah, you could have just
Bonfired one.
exactly. You would have cleared out Tassiger.
No, he would have killed his opponent.
I think he
Actually,
had
no, he
Bonfire
was-
for 7.
No, he
6
had
or
Bonfire
7.
for 6.
Okay.
So he would have been one short because he held onto a land.
Exactly. So I think like keeping one, maybe 2 bonfires, those are fine, and then you can keep the relics in instead of the other bonfires. But yeah, just be the best Ponza deck, as fast as you can be.
Don't run out of steam, you say.
Well, I think that's the Grixis deck's job, seeing as that's the steam vent.
Well, Shaq was definitely not venting anything that game.
Well, no, he had 2 down.
Sure. I think my joke just ran into a watery Dave there.
Yeah, walk through a blood clip first though.
Okay, well, we'll get back onto the actual match. Let's not bore you with our jokes. Yeah, I know you're dreading it inside.
Yeah, there aren't any in the sideboard though. The planeswalkers are just gonna run amok. Okay, so is Thomas on 6 cards?
Nah,
No.
that's a 7.
We're still on 7. Ah, there we go. We see the Blood Moon in hand, but can he power it out? I see an Elf. Is that an Elf or an Acid
No,
Moss?
I think it's an Acid Moss. Yeah, it's 2 lands, Acid Moss, Blood Moon. He's wondering whether he can keep it.
Oof, it is a risky one. The rest of your hand is quite clunky.
Well, he is keeping it, seeing as Shakeel is mulliganing and Thomas is going first, so I'm going to assume he's keeping it.
It might be.
Maybe Shakeel's just like dashing his mull. Hand was probably that bad.
Is that a Kitchen Finks in his hand?
Yes, it is a Finks.
So this is the kind of hand that could just play a fair game.
But he needs
against-
to top deck a land.
So he's got
And you
what,
aren't-
two turns to do that?
Sure. He doesn't even need to top deck a land, he just needs to like top deck maybe Utopia Sprawl.
Yeah, well he is on the play, so turn 2 Blood Moon's out of the question right now.
Well, turn 3 Blood Moon on the play is
Still
fine.
pretty good, yeah.
Like, unless Shaq knows, okay, I'm going to hold up a counter scroll this turn.
Yeah, but then if he does that, he's gonna have to hold up counter scroll for the rest of the game.
Sure.
Okay, let's see what Shaq gets.
We will transition so we can look at his hand. Snapcaster, Thought Scour, land. Tasiga?
I see Colligan's
Colligan's
command.
command. I don't think it's Tasiga, yeah.
Is that a Spulse Net? Those probably shouldn't be in the
Yeah,
deck
they
anymore.
should not be there.
Blood clipped.
You'll keep that on top, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Thomas is interested in fetching at this stage. Wow, these green cards really do all look the same from here.
Yes. And not sure if it's to hold up Spell Snare or there was a Seared Visions. No, there's a Thought Scour, sure.
Oh, Relic of Regenesis of the top's pretty good for Thomas here. He could play it and pop it just for the card draw.
Well, I think he's probably going to play the land first, exile a card, and then pop it end of Shaq's turn.
Yes, yes. I mean, just that activation is going to make sure that Shaq's going to need to do a bit more work if he wants to do a turn 2 Tasuga.
It's also going to make Shaq's Thought Scour, or maybe it's not a Thought Scour. Let's try and look at his hand again. Stop doing that.
No, he's definitely
Okay,
got the
he's
Thought
got
Scour
the Thought
there.
Scour. Okay, so he actually shocked with this.
Yes. Okay, now he's sitting on double Cryptic. Wow.
Yeah, he probably should have shaved some number of those.
I would be done with 1 max.
I mean, as much as I like Cryptic Command,
Thomas is thinking if it's worthwhile taking the 3 points here.
he's like exiling a Colligan's Command.
And keeping his opponent off an early Tasuga, which is pretty good.
I do think you shock yourself off this sack if it's going to happen.
Yeah, Thomas is definitely the aggressor. He's kind of priced into just...
Ooh. So that's not even coming into play untapped, unless he's tapping it preemptively.
Sure, we'll see what happens now. It's just that I think this would be... It would be appealing to me to take the 3 points here because Shaq clearly isn't holding up counter scroll magic mana.
Yeah.
And Blood Moon gets around pesky things like Spell Snare and you're safe
so
from Cryptic and all of that.
Thomas deciding to save his life total. Top takes a card that isn't land.
So that makes this turn very bad if he doesn't draw land of this relic.
Yeah, Shaq losing his graveyard. No early Tasiga, unfortunately.
Okay.
Gets an elf, which is gonna die, I'm going to assume.
I don't think so. Shaq needs to have black mana so you can Colligan's command it.
Well, we did, yeah. Did see
okay,
the
he scribed the blood clip to the top.
Yeah. We saw all known information about it. And
wow.
Who's the Ponza deck now?
Okay. How you like that, Thomas? Okay, so that's a fine play, but I think
I don't know why that's in the deck at this point, to be honest with you.
Who knows? We'll find out down the line. Maybe it's just better than some of the other spells that are in the deck.
I suppose you can cast it under Blood Moon.
That's true.
Blow up your opponent's basic forests, even though they're mono deck.
For the most part, yeah. But this is risky. If I had the option, I would have gone after the dork before the land.
Yeah. Although it paid off for him. Thomas had to attack with the dog.
Okay. As long as Shaq keeps making these land drops, he's going to be in good shape for this game.
And Thomas does in fact get another land.
Yeah, but he's off red. Oh, he has Kitchen Finks though, which is pretty good here.
Kitchen Finks is going to be really annoying for Shakeel to deal with, considering his life total is lower than Thomas's.
Exactly.
And it does attack for 3, which is a non-zero number at this point.
It's actually a decent clock, so he's got 4 damage. That's a 4-turn clock.
Could be less, because Shakeel's going to have to hurt himself with these lands.
Yeah, as soon as Shaq goes below 12, it clicks over to 3-turn clock. now he's in the quandary of, do I get a... Okay, he's going to be brave about it and just hope Thomas doesn't get dead man anytime soon.
I think he could have gotten a basic swamp there.
Doesn't he have double cryptic in hand though?
Sure. Oh yes, because double cryptic is double cryptic.
I think his real choices were between island and swamp. But the fact that he can now hide behind cryptic, it's good, but he can't, fog and counter Blood Moon. So Thomas just needs to keep attacking until Shaq makes a move. So what are we going to see here?
Colligan's command, deal 2 damage, make you discard a card.
Sure, let's get rid of one of these red things.
Although, in my opinion, he should have done that before Thomas untapped. There's no 2-mana spells you care about.
So how much information do we have about Shaq's hand?
We know about Cryptic Command, Cryptic Command.
It's the Dragon Toms.
And I think there's a counter scroll. Yeah,
okay,
Cryptic counter scroll. There was no reason to let Thomas untap with 3 mana.
Fair enough.
Well, potentially 3 mana.
Yeah, Thomas just now needs to draw any land and
preferably a Stomping Ground.
Yeah, I mean, Stomping Ground's nice, but he just has another Kitchen Finch, so he's like, I'm going to attack you for 3. Do you do anything? No?
All these Blood Moons are just not going to be doing anything today. Shakeel actually has Snapcast in hand, so he could Snapcast a target Cryptic Command, block a Kitchen Finch.
He doesn't have
Colligan's command.
Yeah, sure.
That one. That would.
Yeah, that's a clean way of dealing with
Kitchen Finch.
Kitchen Finch. It is risky though, because if Thomas does have a land, you could just blow Shaq out of this game.
Or you could just bounce the Kitchen Finch and draw a card.
Oh dear.
After seeing Thomas does not hit a land drop.
Now this Ponza
So we had this discussion about Cryptic Command, right?
Yes, but like I said, you're probably already winning if you're getting to do this kind of stuff, and clearly
he's already winning.
There we go. Let me guess. Cryptic Command?
Counter.
Yeah. So what we're witnessing here is...
Oh, this is gonna be a gross, because, yeah, Bolt Thomas for 3, untap, Snapcast the Mage, Molten Rain in the Forest. Doesn't deal him 2 damage because it's a basic land, but...
Yeah, Thomas... Wait, how did that something? Okay, that's the one that got killed with the Molten Rain. Sure. Wow, that Molten Rain actually did some work this game. Okay, so he probably brought it in to destroy the Utopia Sprawl lands.
Yes.
But yeah, Thomas...
And Shaq actually hitting a land drop of the Serum Visions, which is really important, because he still gets to go Snapcaster into Molten Rain. He might not, which as we see is happening here. It's like, oh, Kitchen Finch.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you should have... I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, we bolt.
Okay, so this is how the Ponza deck can claw back into it. Shaq using too many cards to try and clear out the Kitchen Finch.
Okay, so the Kitchen Finch didn't get bolted, it went at Thomas, so Thomas actually only going down 1.
I don't think I like that.
I think Shakeel's being a bit
aggressive.
Yeah. And it's like aggressive in the wrong way.
Because this is exactly the role that you want the Kitchen Finch to play. Is
kill a creature and then hit for 2.
Well, it's kind of
gain a million life.
It's a kind of look over here. This Kitchen Finch is dangerous. Meanwhile, Thomas is just gonna stockpile, nuclear weapons.
And Thomas is fetching. I'd fetch basic mountain here. Just save your life total. Try and cast Blood Moon.
Yeah, there is exactly one mountain in the deck. You should. Okay.
Sure, we're gonna go down to 14 on Thomas's side.
Yeah. So the thing is. Thomas is probably going to roll out that Acid Master now to go fetch the other one. Although I think that's risky.
It's going to get Cryptic.
Well, Counter Scald maybe?
Nah, it's going to be Snap Cryptic.
I don't think that's right.
I also don't think it's right.
I
just
would
know it's gonna
rather
happen.
counter
Oh, it's
squall
counter
and
squall,
then
sure.
snapcaster something proactive and keep the clock going.
Snapcaster, you can't call against command this turn, so actually keep the Snapcaster.
Okay, sure. Another land with the top. Looks like it's Shaq's turn to flood a little bit now.
Although he's okay with it at this point.
Yeah, he gets to fetch basics, which is great.
I still think that earlier snap should have just kept Thomas of mana. Ooh. That's aggressive Carlingan's command. Super aggressive Carlingan's command. 2 damage, Rika, Snapcaster.
All of these cards have instant speed on them, Shaq.
Except the sorcery, which wasn't cast.
So I suppose he is sitting on another counter squall, but it's going to cost him 3 life, put him to 8.
The other issue is his opponent's going to Blood Moon him.
Well, he has counter squall.
In hand? There's
Yes.
a second one? Okay, sure.
But still, I don't think you can't fetch basic
You
swamp.
can't
off
fetch
Scalding
basic
Tarn.
swamp, guys.
He might not have the.
This is gonna be
Yeah,
okay.
he has to fetch the Watley Glaive.
It was gonna be awkward if it was mold at some point.
Yes. But now that Shaq's down to just Snapcaster, so he has. Actually, no, I think this is fine. Because he has Snap Counter Squall in hand now. He has Snapcaster in hand. So you can flash back. You can flash back the Counter Squall for any non-creature spells that Thomas might play. But if Thomas just naturals a land, he could go into a 5-mana creature.
But he has the Cryptic Commanding David as well. So snap stops that too.
Of course.
And he top decked his Molten Rain, which is gonna blow up the Stomping Ground? I mean, it should.
I think it's fine. Wow, this is really ironic that the Land Destruction deck is losing to Land Destruction.
It's kind of bittersweet, don't you say?
It's hilarious, actually.
Well, you know what they say about Mountain? They're all hill areas.
I'm not going to touch that one.
So yeah, top decking Utopia Sprawl lets him actually cast the Blood Moon. Doesn't help him.
Well, the Utopia Sprawl might just get counted.
I think it should get counter-squalled at this point.
Yeah, I think it's the best way to try and counter land drop.
Not only that, it's also basically turn this 5-turn clock into a 2-turn clock.
Here we go.
Snap,
Okay.
counter-squall.
And if Shaq goes a bolt.
Well, no, it's still a 2-turn clock, yeah.
Well, no, did you take the 2 damage of the Molten Blade?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Thomas was just dying.
That was an insane game. I had no idea that there was even a universe where the Grixis deck could win against the Ponza deck.
Well, the Ponza deck isn't super consistent. It's
Clearly,
one of
yeah.
the decks that's like, if you play it, well, if it draws well, you don't need to play that much, but like, it's what's gonna win.
Yeah.
If it doesn't draw anything, as we saw there, or at least like getting stuck on lands, it's just not gonna do anything.
Yeah, like there were so many draws for Thomas to get out of that. Like the Relic of Progenitors, the cage. I mean, the Pinks did its job. It just wasn't in the right context. It was buying him time. It just wasn't doing anything meaningful. He just kept throwing the payoffs and none of the enablers.
Well, that's what the problem with some of these big mana decks are. Probably Tron is the most consistent of those. So, as an example, like Scape Shift type decks, if you just don't draw the Scape Shift, it's just not gonna win. Or if you like don't get enough lands, although that deck plays a lot more mana producing things.
Yeah, the Tron is a lot more linear, whereas at least the Ponza deck pretends to try and play some magic. I mean,
it does play magic. It just denies your opponent from
playing
playing magic.
Tron just doesn't care about what you're doing.
It's like, yay, we're Tron decks. Well done.
I'm bigger than you. Deal with it.
Well, yeah, that was round 1. Pretty interesting considering how we predicted it to go.
Yes.
We'll see you guys in the next one.